Welcome back guys to another guide video. Today we are covering the support build. Using the Musket and LifeStaff, the purpose of this build is to keep your teammates alive and picking off adds along with directing their movement to help alleviate the burden from the other players. With this class you'll be doing very little damage but instead be controlling the battlefield. This can be used in PvE and PvP, however it works cleaner in PvE due to the predictability of the mobs. We are going to go over this build, how and why to use it, and along with other demonstrations, so let's begin. The attribute distribution I went for mostly was all focused to increase the output of the heals, and the rest into dex to increase the damage and your grenade and attacks. So let's dive into the weapon mastery and point out crucial skills. Starting with the musket, you only need to use 11 into the trapper tree, the rest can be used as pleased. However, stopping power isn't a bad third to this group, granting additional slow and pushback, but if you prefer more of a hard hitting or burn damage, feel free to swap it with one of those. However, the key to this build is the traps, enabling you to immobilize your target for 3 seconds and granting you additional 20% damage to the target. When 2 traps are in play, you can easily slow down the chase or slow down the reinforcements that are kind of targeting you or the other players, giving you that much needed breather room, as you see here. The next key piece of this pie is the sticky bomb, granting 20% slow for 5 seconds and AoE damage, dealing 150% weapon damage to all targets within 3 meters, allowing you to do some damage but again slowing down the targets to give you and your team some breathing room to react and fight back. 3 passes I believe that are a must are Back It Up, giving you walking movement speed increase of 30% when an enemy is within 8 meters, giving you more agility to move around and stay out of harm's way. Salt on the Wounds, giving a 15% damage buff to targets below 30% health, making you the finisher of the small mobs that may be bothering the core team in defeating the main baddie. Then finally Hustle, which gives you an increased movement speed of 30% for 3 seconds after a dodge or a roll. For those close calls where you're getting targeted and you need to create some extra space, I should add I recommend going medium to light armor rating for increased escape movement and increased damage/healing output. Now let's move on to the LifeStaff. This weapon mastery has plenty of room for flexibility on how you'd prefer to run it. However, I stuck with the healing tree, both would be viable in this build, so I recommend looking through and figuring out which one fits best your playstyle. With the biggest difference between the two would be healing or giving buffs such as Fortify and Haste with some healing in the mix. The way you play this build is sitting in the back, switching back and forth between the musket and LifeStaff, placing traps where the adds are heading to slow them down, throwing a grenade to increase that, while taking a shot or two at the weakest ones, then switching back to the LifeStaff, placing down a round of heals or slash buffs to keep your teammate at peak performance. It's key to mention during this time your musket will automatically reload after 3 seconds as long as your LifeStaff is equipped, so once you shoot, swap immediately, no point in waiting for an animation to play because you're ultimately just waiting time. It's just a quick little shortcut and tip of the trick. This build isn't full of glory, but it is rewarding. The battlefield management leaves you with your plate full, constantly analyzing and planning out your next step, gauging who needs help and how you can be that support that they need. This can be used in PvP, however you will require teammates to do the damage, as you're not really built for it. Your damage output is small and you are fragile. You're best sitting in the back. Now, this build is a little out of the box, but if you're mainly a rapier musket main as myself, having this in the back pocket when you need a healer around fits the bill really well. I like to look for the out of the ordinary builds and try doing something against the grain, you know? What are some builds that you're playing with? Leave a comment down below. I'd like to hear the crazy combinations and the game plan for these builds, so give this a shot, come back and let me know what you thought of it and I don't know, your opinions on how you can improve this build, or join the Discord so you guys can talk further. But until next time guys, it was Fab.